We share 99% of our DNA with chimpanzees. Almost identical, practically twins. But look around. Chimps climb trees. Humans build rockets, compose symphonies, scroll social media. How can 1% of genetic difference make such an enormous impact? Why can the 99% overpower the 1% and make us almost the same? To answer that, we have to dive into the architecture of life itself, from DNA to neurons, from evolution to consciousness. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Similarity. When scientists say we're 98.899% identical to chimps, it hides a subtle truth. Not all DNA is equal. Most of that shared 99% codes for proteins that build the basic body plan: muscles, bones, organs, metabolism. But the 1 to 2% that's different. It's concentrated in regulatory regions, DNA switches that determine when, where, and how much each gene is expressed. Think of genes like piano keys. The 99% gives you the keys. The 1% writes the sheet music. Even tiny differences in these control regions can rewrite the entire developmental program, leading to drastically different brains, hands, faces, and behaviors. Chapter 2. Genes that made us human. Some of these small genetic changes had massive consequences. Take srgap2, a gene that duplicated in humans. The new copy slowed how neurons mature, allowing them to grow more connections. The result? Longer developmental windows and denser neural networks. A brain capable of complex thought. Then there's FOXP2, just 2 amino acids different from chimps. Yet it changed how we control vocal cords and process speech. Language, storytelling, planning, all built on this microscopic tweak. Even AR1, a tiny regulatory gene, shapes the cerebral cortex in a way humans uniquely have, affecting higher cognitive functions. A few changes in DNA, and suddenly, a chimp-sized brain becomes a human brain, triple the volume, capable of abstract reasoning and imagination. Chapter 3. Timing is everything. Size isn't everything. Timing is critical. Human brains develop more slowly than chimps. Synaptic connections keep forming for years, the extended childhood. This gives humans a long learning period, social bonding, and cultural transmission. Abilities chimps don't have to the same degree. Small shifts in when genes switch on and off, sometimes just days or weeks, reshape the entire developmental trajectory. The 1% difference orchestrates how we grow, think, and interact with the world. Chapter 4. The 1% Cascade Effect. Once humans developed language and imagination, evolution accelerated in a new dimension: culture. Ideas could now evolve faster than genes. Knowledge passed instantly. The 1% difference didn't just give us speech. It triggered a cascade: language, cooperation, tool-making, agriculture, civilization, science, technology. The 99% built the animal. The 1% built the civilization. And evolution didn't correct this. It amplified it. Once a small advantage exists, it snowballs, reshaping what it means to be human. Chapter 5. The Brain That Observes Itself. Here's the truly extraordinary part. The 1% didn't just make humans smarter. It made humans aware of being intelligent. Humans don't just process information. We reflect on it. We ask, why am I here? We build art, philosophy, and science. We gaze at the stars and wonder if the universe is looking back. That tiny difference rewired not just behavior, but consciousness itself. It allowed us to question the nature of life, the cosmos, and ourselves. The 1% didn't need to overpower the 99%. It simply hijacked its machinery to think in ways the 99% never could. Chapter 6. Evolution is not a democracy. Evolution is not a vote. It's a leverage system. One mutation in a crucial spot can have far more impact than thousands of unchanged genes. Tiny genetic tweaks in control regions, what some scientists call the genetic switches of destiny, determine everything from brain size to hand dexterity. The 1% isn't minor, it's the director of the play, the code that writes the code, the spark that turns 99% of the same materials into something unrecognizably new. Chapter 7. The Philosophical Twist. Now, let's zoom out. Maybe the real question is that T. Why can T, the 99%, overpower the 1%? Maybe the question is, what does it mean that a tiny fraction of DNA created a mind capable of asking that very question? Humans are 99% ape, biological machines shaped by evolution. But the 1%? It gave us imagination, awareness, and curiosity. It gave us the ability to observe the world and ourselves and create meaning where none exists. That tiny difference transformed life into something capable of wondering about itself. Closing. The 1% that wonders. So next time you hear that we're 99% identical to chimps, don't think of similarity. Think of possibility. The 1% wasn't trying to compete. It was rewriting reality. It gave us language, art, mathematics, science, and the questions we're still asking today. We are the 1% that learned to wonder, and maybe that's the most human thing of all.